As we sort of count down to the end of what I'd call the first season, I guess 13 episodes of this rural life adventure, I just look back at the fact that we've learned so much about living, off grid, or, pursuing this life of living off grid, particularly in the area of trying to grow your own food, looking at seed varieties, growing time, learning more about the soil that we have in the area, what we can or can't grow, experimenting with certain things like losing crops to insects and stuff like that, knowing the role of certain insects within your crop. So there's just been so much learning that we've done in this entire process, and I'm really grateful sort of going into where we're going into autumn right now and then going into winter to gain an even deeper understanding of living off the land. One of the things that we had to really sort of learn is to be like really patient, because with this kind of construction project, you're not going to have all of the funds at the same time. Sometimes it's about trying to figure out what resources you do have, trying to prototype all the little things or the little projects that you have in place. So sometimes you just had to, just work with what you have and not really make any excuses as to why you haven't done anything. Because the main project that we're here to do was to work out our prototype that was going to revolutionize how we build and how we think about rural. But we've ended up learning a lot more. I mean, it all started out with this geodesic shape that we we're still building into what's supposed to be like our dream rural home. So just having to be patient with the process and just knowing to do certain processes before, and waiting it out, knowing that at some point, like after the rains, we'd be able to start construction again. So we tried not to stop what we were doing just because like it's raining or we didn't have the financial resources to continue. We just kept plodding along, and I think it's been a valuable lesson for us, because even the people around us in the community don't tend to wait for everything to be perfect. People just keep moving forward until stuff works out. I think of our little project Bumblebee, and I feel bad for my wife because when we arrived here, we had to change the bus around, because since it was a bus that wasn't going to be moving around, I had to sort of rearrange the whole bus, like really take it apart. So even when you're inside the bus at the moment, it feels like you're in a construction site, even though like there's some little pieces of home that sort of show the semblance of what our old home looked like, but it's pretty much upside down. It's like a workshop. All of my tools are in there, and my wife has been really gracious and in her patience, sort of allowing me to sort of find my feet and sort of learn and that kind of thing. We've tried to keep things almost what a normal day-to-day thing in a Ncube household is, like the type of food that we're cooking. We tried not to to change much of that. We've just changed where we're sourcing our ingredients, which has been absolutely perfect. So the cooking has been amazing. But like I said, the house is pretty much it's pretty much upside down. I mean, if you see the state of it, we still need to get the materials into Victoria Falls, which is a difficult thing. So pretty much it's like bare bones. Everything is like really exposed, and it's basically a mess at this particular point. But we are excited going into like what is supposed to be like our third month now, where everything is calmer. We've kind of settled into a routine. I've been learning quite a bit like on YouTube in terms of the things that we need to build. So it's really going to be quite exciting for us going into March, because we're wiser, we're more motivated, we're more excited about some of the dreams that we discussed, because when we got married in the Bahamas, we discussed this whole idea of settling in Victoria Falls and building a business, and somehow we ended up coming to this kind of conclusion that rural was the best sort of solution for us to build this business of ours that we call Ekaya. But we're in all of this, we're very grateful. We've been very blessed. It's just been a great time for us doing this project, even from a storytelling perspective, being able to share what our experiences are, trying to do it in an unedited, not really unedited, but we try to tell and show people the real honesty of living in such an environment, how we live and, what we use and how we're solving certain problems, like not having water and having to come up with a rain harvesting system, which is where we're currently getting our water, or setting up the campsite so that it's ready for the innovation camp we're trying to set up. So it's quite a lot of things that we've been sharing with people, and we hope to share more as we go into the second season and our content becomes a lot more structured. We really want to share what it is that we're really going through and the logic behind the things that we are doing. So again, we're really just grateful, and it's been great having some fantastic friends on there who can sort of add value. We've got Vusa Mkaya, who's given us an awesome soundtrack. We've got Gwebedzi, and just generally the people in the community that have just allowed us to just come into their space and film and be able to tell these stories and to sort of gain an understanding of why we're actually around, what kind of solutions are we bringing about. It's just deciding what kind of lifestyle that you want to have, to add color and vibrancy to your life, and perhaps that also heals other parts that you're trying to solve. So it's quite a philosophical sort of approach to looking at things, but we believe that there's an inner beauty that's there within us, that this aspiration or this hope or this desire to want to do better. And if only people realize that it's all in their power, it's the things that you do on a daily basis. It doesn't matter how small the task is. It doesn't matter how meaningless it seems. Every little bit that we do, it's all up to you. You can make your life exactly what it is that you want it to be. You don't have to go with the limitations of others. I think the issue is that we are only limited by what we choose to be limited by. I think we have a lot more power than we give ourselves credit for. And basically that's what this project is about, is to try and inspire this new line of thinking, to say, listen, hang on, things might be tough, but we're willing to put in the work. We're willing to think differently. We're willing to explore the alternatives. We're willing to scale down so that we can scale up. Those are the kind of things that we're looking at. So we're really grateful for people who've been following us so far, and we encourage people to continue sharing our story and telling people what we're about. And then eventually when markets open up, people will be able to visit, will be able to stay with us and learn what it's like to be off grid and get an experience of it, so that you can make some meaningful decisions that can really change how we live on our planet, how we live together, how we relate to each other. So it's just been an exciting 2-month period, and going into the third month right now. I just felt I needed to just speak to you, whoever it is who's listening, to just know our line of thinking and what's made us decide what we want to do. So continue watching our videos, continue sharing, continue following what it is that we're doing, and hope to see you soon at Ekaya. I can't emphasize enough, one person that, I really have to thank, who's at the backbone of all of this. And she doesn't share much of her story and doesn't like to be in front of the camera. But my wife has really been quite a trooper behind the scenes in this project as well. And you sometimes get glimpses of her, but I wish that at some point, because she's studying like a media degree, that she'll also begin to also tell a story from her perspective, because I think she has quite a bit to share. But thank you, Nelsie.
So one of those things, we spent the whole day out visiting neighbors. That's the first time that we've done that. So Carlos just popped out to go check out some clay. Don't ask, we've got a project we want to do later, like how to build a cob house. So that's gonna be fun. So I'm left because when you visit people here, you come back and you have chibage. So chibage, I'll show you. So I'm just fixing it. Carlos just left. He's just done the fire for me. It's pretty windy, so he's just done the fire for me. So I need to quickly get it prepped so I can put it in a teapot, and I'm gonna cook it over the fire. But we're gonna boil it. It was really windy, so I don't want to spend the time to kugocha. For those of you who don't know what kugocha is, cooking it over a fire like a braai, I think, yeah, something like that. So one of those rare times. So I'm gonna try and show you what I'm doing. So I'm just sitting here outside the chimenya, like peeling the husks off the mealie cobs, and then I'm gonna put them on the fire. Cool. Okay, so there we go. Just need to put one more tray here. There. Voila.
So what's next? Now that we've got, we're shoring up our electricity and adding a little bit more power to our facility, it means that soon we'll be able to stay online a little bit longer in terms of like production. Currently our electricity didn't allow us to switch on like our computer long enough, so a lot of all the videos that you've been watching have all been shot and edited on my iPhone, and we're down to one phone. But the phone has been capturing some amazing images that really, it's been a blessing in disguise, because who would have known that you could do an entire production, voiceovers and everything, and all your editing on an iPhone. So we really are looking forward to the second season, where there'll be quite a bit more construction, building up our various projects, our workshops, and so on. Yeah, we encourage you to please click the subscribe button, share with your friends. My name is Carl Joshua Ncube. On behalf of me and Nelsie, thank you so much.